Welcome back, mathletes. Now we are going to be solving by a method called substitution, which I'm sure you've heard that word in math before. And some steps for solving the by substitution. Again, you can put this on your summary sheet. The first step is that you need to rearrange one of the two equations. Every question should have two equations. You need to rearrange so that one of them says either x equals or y equals. And you can note that usually the easiest one to solve for is the term that has a coefficient of 1. If it has any other number for all of the terms, like a number 2 or 3, then you just pick which one you're going to solve for. Step number 2 is you're going to number off each of the equations, and this will be part of your communication. Once you've numbered it, you're going to substitute the equation that you solved for, and you're going to substitute it into the other equation, and you're going to write a statement describing this. And you'll see this in the example. Once you've described this, then you have to solve the equation that you've made. Once you've solved that answer, then you're going to number that answer that you get, and you're going to substitute that answer into one of the two equations. Doesn't matter which one, and then again solve. Now, once you have step 3 and 4 done, you would have solved for both parts. So then you have to state your final statement, which is your coordinates of your point of intersection, x comma y. So we're going to use the same example that we used for the first so that you see it's the exact same idea. It's just going to be using a different method. And so to start, we have to get one of the equations to say x equals or y equals. And if you notice with this one, it's already done for us. It says y equals, so that means we're all done. If we didn't have that and we had to pick one, you can see in this situation, it has a positive 1y, which would be the easiest to solve, as opposed to this one. If you solve with the 2x, then you'd have to divide everything by 2. So we've already done step 1. We've rearranged. Step 2 is to number the equations. So I'm going to number this 1 and this 2. And so what I'm going to do for step 3, we have to sub one equation into the other. This is the equation we've solved for, so we are going to write the statement describing that we are going to sub 1 into 2. And so this is the communication piece where we're telling whoever's looking at it that we're subbing the first equation into the second equation. In order to do that, we have our second equation, which is 2x plus y. Now, we have a y, but if you notice from the first equation, we know what y equals. Y equals 3x minus 1. So we can take that 3x minus 1 and we can change it and replace it with the y because we know that the y equals that. So we can substitute it. And then we would just have to solve. Now, if there's a number here, there isn't. There's just a number 1. You would have to expand this through using all of our algebra skills. And so we would have 2x plus 3x minus 1 plus 6 equals 0. And so we've said the statement, we've subbed it in, and now we're working on the solving aspect. If you keep solving, you have to collect your like terms. So we have 5x here. And then plus 5 equals 0. And if we rearrange this, we have 5x equals negative 5. Divide both sides by 5, and we have x equals negative 1. And I'm going to number this number 3. Okay, so that completes step number 3. Now step number 4, we have to write a statement, and we have to sub this answer into one of the two equations. So I'm going to switch to red now, and I'm going to sub in number 3, and I'm going to pick into 1. And if I substitute this in, we have y equals 3 times x. But wait a second, we know what x equals. X equals negative 1. So if we substitute that in, and now we're solving. So we have y equals negative 3 minus 1. So y equals negative 4. And the last step is to state the coordinates of your point of intersection. So we therefore, the POI is negative 1 for the x, and negative 4 for the y, and you found the point of intersection using substitution. Now notice we got the exact same answer as when we solved graphically. So that's how we do the substitution method. If you have any questions, please write them down. You can bring them up in class, and I'll see you there.